Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another amazing episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He's the tranquil dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob-based, and you are not. And the second quarter, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass catching, always on the go, catch him if you can. Said his name in Guyana, now they love him in Japan. No cap, the worldwide star boy, Rennie Blue. And our special guest tonight is a man who graduated from the Nightmare Factory Class 1. And he took part in the first ever Battle Royal for the first ever Nightmare Factory Student Showcase. He's from the depths of backstage, and now he's in the spotlight. Everybody, welcome to the show, the Revenant Brian Andrews. Woo!
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Brian, how you doing today, man?
Pretty good, man. Just had a great weekend with my kid. We were on the lake today for a few hours, so that's why I opted for the later showing tonight.
Hey, no problem, man. No problem. You know, I don't have to go to work till later on tomorrow, so I could afford to, be up till midnight and whatnot. But I just gotta say, thank you very much for, giving us the opportunity. We always get excited when we get a new guest, whether it's a wrestler, promoter, referee, ring announcer, or heck, even if it's just a fan, we're always, ready to talk to new people and so on. So where you at? You're in Georgia now, right?
Yes, sir. Georgia raised.
How's the weather and everything over there going for y'all?
We're getting the beginnings of autumn, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Awesome. Yeah, autumn is definitely not a bad season. It's pretty interesting. Actually, that's like the best time to actually start flying because, tickets are cheaper and whatnot. The weather is not too cold, not too hot. It's just right. I'm actually looking forward to autumn as well. I'll actually be heading back up to New York, which is and I always say now, if you're trying to go to places like the Northeast, now is definitely the right time to go because it's cooling down right now.
Right.
Yeah. So I gotta ask, man, what made you become what was the event or the pay-per-view that made you become a fan of professional wrestling?
To be honest, it's I know it sounds cliche, but childhood, man. I came into it back into the Monday Night Wars era of wrestling, so WCW Nitro versus Raw and stuff like that. But I was a Nitro kid all the way back in the day. I don't know why particularly, but I think it was just because my dad was just a big TNT watcher at the time, and that's where all of his favorite wrestlers of the time were on as well. So, again, Nitro kid, always enjoyed. Eventually going in between back and forth, seeing who was what on which program and see what was going on. It was kind of very thrilling at the time to be able to do stuff like that. But as far as pay-per-views, I was at the time I was a bit too young for pay-per-views. I just did the Monday night viewings and then what it was eventually Thursday Night Thunder and Thursday Night SmackDown and stuff like that.
Awesome. So born and raised in Georgia, did you ever get to go to any WCW events or house shows or anything? I know that was their home base, Atlanta, Georgia, to be exact.
I can't say that I've ever made it to any live events. I always made it to special appearances, when they showed up at what was it? I want to say they showed up to different haunted house showings, in Chattanooga and stuff like that. And I would show up to stuff like that. The first real house show that I was able to attend as a teenager was kind of well after the fact that WCW went away, and it was can't remember the name of the promotion, but you had Glacier, you had the Road Warriors, the Koloffs, and a handful of other guys and it was actually in my local high school gym. That was pretty awesome. Other than that, like for me at the time, like I really had no clue how wrestling worked as far as getting into it and what have you. And I eventually just went the way of being a touring musician. And it wasn't until I started doing workouts with Diamond Dallas Page, doing DDP yoga, where I started thinking, I was like, well, I've got a connection to the business. I can figure out how to get into the business now. And after working in AEW Dynamite in Huntsville back in, I think it was late 2019, early 2020, I sent Dallas a text asking, which wrestling school does he suggest? And he put me through to QT Marshall. And before the pandemic started, or before the pandemic came down, I was supposed to start training in June or July, and then I eventually got back to September for Class 1.
Cool. So of course, y'all had like the intense training for 3 months. I heard like some people were there at the beginning, then they quit, they couldn't handle it. But you were one of the few, the strong, that actually, powered on through and became part of the first ever, graduating class of the Nightmare Factory. And I was telling, I think it may have been JD Brady or whoever we had before. Man, Rob, you remember who we had before JD Brady? Oh, Dom Damien. And I think I was telling Dom Damien, I'm like, you guys made history because somewhere down the line, the 50th class, 51st, 60th, 66th, hell, the 75th class is going to see that plaque. And I'm pretty sure it's up there somewhere of the first ever class to graduate Nightmare Factory. And you guys they're probably going to be like, oh, snap, that's Dom Damon. He was just on AEW. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, isn't that the Revenant Brian Andrews? He was just on ROH kicking somebody's ass. And he dominated that person too. Oh, snap, wait, aren't those the nice guys? Yo, they're fighting for WWE Tag Team titles next Monday on Raw. Yo, that's history up here. You guys, I'm telling you. So when they told you that when Cody Rhodes, Coach Cody, Coach QT, Coach Glacier, Coach Ian, and the rest of the coaches, gave y'all the pat on the back and said, "Hey, congratulations, y'all are the first graduating class of the Nightmare Factory. Y'all are good to go out and take bookings and whatnot." What was going through your mind when they told you you're part of the first class to graduate?
I mean, for me, as soon as I got the okay to go, I just hit the ground running, man. Started ordering gear probably about a month before Class 1 was up and before the showcase. And like I said, just as soon as I got my gear in, I started doing bookings, hitting the ground running. With the exception of the first two shows being the Battle Royal, and then the very next weekend, I was doing a show with Kapow wrestling up in Knoxville or Sevierville, Tennessee, based out of Knoxville. It was actually men's workout leggings I used for the first two shows, and then traditional gear from there on out. But yeah, just been hitting the ground running. For me, it's an investment for a goal that I've always had and wanted to accomplish, and I'm not wasting any time with it. Like, I'm just doing as much as I can with the time that I have and making the absolute best of it. And it's really put me somewhere within the first 4 months of becoming a professional wrestler. I had a WrestleMania weekend match with it was under Boot and Heel, as well as GCW, not generational, but generational championship wrestling, not Game Changer. It was generational championship wrestling down in Tampa, Florida.
You wrestled for GCW?
Not Game Changer. That's
no. I know exactly what you're talking about. The other GC, I've been to a show. It's ran by Mr. Gomez, right? Jeremy Gomez, right? I was there. Wow, small world. I was at GCW like
It was like a couple months
December
ago, right?
2020. No, yeah. It's almost a year. They were down in Tampa, and I saw like Task Force, Caleb Conley. I refuse to call him Caleb with a K because I know him as Caleb Conley. And you had Renee Michelle. They actually had the I think you called the Quest for the Medallion. That's where they crowned the third GCW Women's Champion. And Queen Aminata actually won that. She won that time. I was there. Great show. Wow, that's cool, man.
Yeah, I want to say it was the We Run This Town event that I was a part of.
Oh, okay.
For WrestleMania weekend.
Right.
It was myself and what's his name? I'm drawing a blank. I don't feel so bad about it.
It's okay. It happens to me too.
Let me look it up.
Although I would not mind seeing a GCW versus GCW led show. That'd be pretty interesting.
It would be. That would actually be really cool to see. I know I saw rumblings on Twitter. I think it's Nightmare Factory versus Rhodes Wrestling Academy, or maybe be some matches of like that. I'm not sure if it's official. Don't quote me.
I know.
But I think it's more like students from each school like meeting up in random matches elsewhere. But that would be really cool to see.
If that's anywhere near New York, which probably would be highly unlikely, it'll probably be either in Texas or Georgia. I would definitely pay good money to see that because, and I really feel bad because we really should get on the ball of interviewing people from the Rhodes Academy as well. Although we did have one person, Shauna Reed, but I know for a fact that the Rhodes Wrestling Academy is putting out the same quality of wrestlers that the Nightmare Factory are putting out because it's the Rhodes family. I definitely trust them to do great things. They're actually one of my favorites. I always enjoy watching a family of heart. From Dusty to Dustin and Cody. Mm-hmm. I've even seen Brandy go in that ring and throw down. And that's definitely one of my they're definitely one of my favorite families to watch as well. But
getting back to the WrestleMania weekend match, it was a tag match. Myself and the Solitary Psycho Brax versus Funny Bone.
The guy with the paint.
Yes.
Okay. That must have been some match.
It was interesting for sure because I was the only one that wasn't color matching.
Wow.
But that was hands down one of my favorite matches. Like it was just awesome.
How do you wrestle a man like Funny Bone and not get psyched out? Like you just see a buffed up guy walk into the ring, he's bald and he has and the way he paints is it's dripping and it's like.
So I was doing some research on Funny Bone and seeing some of his matches. Like one of the matches I really watched was Funny Bone and Zicky Dice, and
outlandish.
And so Funny Bone then wasn't anywhere near as big as he is now, muscle wise. And so when I saw Funny Bone in person, I'm like, whoa. Wow. But I mean, for me, it's just completely psyched because it's happening. So, I mean, for me, it was again, just an amazing match for me to be a part of.
Yeah, I probably would have been psyched out, but Funny Bone. You mentioned Funny Bone. I was like, wow, that's I think he's based in California, if I'm not correct.
Either Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he teams with this other. I think he teams with Crow, is it Crow or Crody or Crote, the Super Beast. I think that's one guy he teams with every now and then.
He teams
Another
up with Super
huge
Beast.
guy.
He teams up with Super Beast a lot, and actually, they during the pandemic, that's how Funny Bone got real big, is he started training with Super Beast.
Woo! I'm have to train with Super Beast myself, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get these gains. You know what I'm saying? Not just for a summer body. I'm trying to get an all year body. You know, so yeah. Rob, you might want to train with them too. You about to be a referee, man. They're gonna toss you around, man. Shoot, you know when you got that first wrestling match, you know. But yeah, that's great.
I was gonna say they throw me around, I'll just toss the match out. I'm in the straights. Like, no, ring the bell, let's go.
Yeah, but I gotta say, Brian, like you were definitely, when you say you hit the ground running, I definitely believe, because I saw your gear and everything, and then you had like the photos that you actually had that you sent us. I'm like, this guy is ready for big time. Like, it's only a matter of time till I see this guy on AEW Dark, and I'll be like, yo, Rob, turn on YouTube or turn on your TV. Look who's on TV. It's the Revenant Brian Andrews. We just had him on the show, man. But yeah, so we have a question from a Brittany B, and she's asking, where did the name Revenant come from? Any reason for choosing it? And she's like, P.S. Those muscles, though.
So the Revenant, totally random happening. Posted a picture from training, and my friend Shannon just happened to make a comment saying the mother effing Revenant. And I'm like, oh. And just started, and I knew it was a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, but and there was like undead characters with the same name in Mortal Kombat, but I actually looked up the definition of Revenant, and it's someone who is believed to be dead and allegedly came back, but he never died. And for me, it was kind of a perfect representation of my wrestling dreams, where I thought they were dead, but they were never dead. They just came back.
Right. That's pretty cool. Kind of like how I felt with Ringside Society. I remember I actually first started this. We started podcasting in 2019, but originally we started as a group back in 2013, January 1st to be exact. And over those years, I was like, man, am I ever going to get this thing off the ground? Because I wanted to be a podcast. I was like, I don't know. And then I joined the Navy, and then I was like, okay, well, guess that ain't happening. And then one day I just saw this one wrestler, and then I saw somebody interview her, and I was like, that should have been me doing interviews like that. And I was like, might as well just jump in and see what happens. It's either sink or swim.
No, I mean, you just got to stick at it, man. I mean, better late than never.
Oh yeah. I do wish I'd done it earlier, but I'm like, maybe I wouldn't have had time, or maybe I would have been like too busy. So yeah, it's like my mom says, everything happens, in its own time.
I'm a firm believer of that as well.
Yeah. So let's talk about the student showcase, the first ever one, and which features the first ever, graduating class. You were part of that battle royal, and you were probably one of, if not the biggest guy in that whole like battle royal. So were you nervous when you were in it, or were you like, you know what, I got this. I got 3 months of training. This is cake, or was there a mixture of both?
It was a mixture of both, but definitely more on the nervous side of things. I mean, it's the first wrestling match ever. I mean, it's kind of like, doing your first concert or first performance of any kind, first theatrical performance. It's definitely all nerves. And for me, like any of my performances, it's all nerves. It's what keeps me on my toes. Because if you go into anything thinking you just got it, that's where you can really mess up. So I mean, like for me again, like especially that first match, it was a lot of nerves. It was a little like, well, you know, I trained. I'm obviously able to do this. That's why I'm doing this. But definitely, like I said, mostly nerves.
Cool. Well, I don't know. I know me. I'd probably be shaking in my boots if it was my first wrestling match. I'd probably be close to like pissing myself. Like, oh, geez, like what do I do? What if I mess up? You know. And then I got Cody Rhodes, and Glacier watching me. I'm like, these guys are like veterans. Like, I don't want to, you know, mess up in front of them and so on. You know, but I commend y'all for what y'all do, man. So speaking of, you know, I said earlier, you're one of, if not the biggest guys in that battle royal. So have there been any big guys that have actually inspired you in wrestling?
Yeah, actually, one of the guys I draw inspiration from is Test. You know, he's a good one. Was it Chris Canyon's another one? I was a really big fan of Mortis as a kid. That's good for me. Like I was always a big fan of the theatrics and whatnot. You know, the more out there the character looked, the more I was drawn to it. And so I don't know, but like really, just like Test was like one of my all-time favorite big guys. Scott Hall was a good one. Who else? I mean, just to be very blatant, one of the reasons why I have long hair and tattoos is The Undertaker. So, talk about someone athletic for his size. So, I mean, that was pretty much the main ones.
Okay, so when Rob asks you some questions, he's probably going to tell you a little story of about Undertaker, Paul Bearer, and some vodka. He's probably most likely going to tell you that, and it's real funny. I'm like, yeah, okay, but yeah, it's real funny. But hey, real talk though, Test was one of my favorites, man. Like I was banking on that guy to become world champion because he had it all, the looks, everything. I hated when they put him with Stacy Keibler and they had him cut his hair. I'm like, no, that's what makes him Test. Like, leave him how he is. Don't change anything. Just let him go. And like, I guess, but that's WWE for you, you know.
Hands down, one of the most vicious big boots in the history of wrestling.
Oh yeah, the way he would hyperextend his leg, I was like, woo, there's only two men I know could do a mean big boot. Test and Kevin Nash. Yeah. I'm talking about when he was Diesel. Mm-hmm. That was some sweet big boots right there.
Yeah,
like, and that's something you don't really see nowadays days. I mean, Sheamus does the bro kick, which it works for him. But those guys, when they did the big boot, it was with authority. Especially Test, he would run into you with it too. Like it would be like a freight train just knocking you.
Actually, talking about big guys, I really like Drew McIntyre's Claymore kick.
Oh yeah,
like just the way he hits it is just absolutely vicious.
Woo. What guess is when he counts down? He's like 3, 2, 1, and I'm like, Drew, you're a jerk, dude. Like, yeah, but yeah, that's pretty cool how he does that as well. So now that you're you're taking bookings now and whatnot, like I said, congratulations on getting that GCW booking and everything. And I'm hoping to see you thrive more like on the East Coast, man. Hopefully I'll see you in New York. And I'll be like, yeah, made it up here, man. Try the pizza. Pizza's really good. I don't know if you've been in New York yet, but hopefully you get to go.
I haven't been to New York for wrestling. I was up there for a job a couple of years ago. I lived in Queens for about a month, and it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. I miss up there.
Yeah, but yeah. So now that you're taking bookings and you're out there, wrestling and pretty much kicking ass and taking names, your trainer Cody, when he left WWE several years ago, he had a list of opponents that he wanted to face in the near future, and he posted on social media. And subsequently, other wrestlers started doing the same thing too. So my second to last question is, who are the Revenant Brian Andrews top 5 opponents that he wants to wrestle in the near future?
Near future, I keep being called. Like, I mean, like you made the comment like I was like the biggest dude in the battle royal and stuff. I've always wanted to face guys that are bigger than me. You know, guys like Aaron Black, Austin Towers, you know, Logan Creed, hell, even W. Morrissey. Like, it's because, I mean, it's just such a rare thing to be able to face people that are much bigger than you, because again, those people are very rare. And so for me, like, that would be a challenge for myself to be able to face someone that is bigger than me.
Wow, that's cool. That's definitely a cool route to go. So my last question is, in terms of professional wrestling, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I'm really hoping that I'll be a regular on Dynamite. Like,
Cool.
I remember being like, Dynamite is kind of like what reinvigorated wrestling for me. I mean, you know, we all know the stories about regular wrestling and stuff like that. And I remember getting cable at my house, and the debut of I was actually able to stream it on my phone, and I was streaming it at work when I was working at a Google event. And I was just screaming and hollering in the office, and everybody's like, what the heck's going on? I'm like, wrestling's back. It was amazing for me. So, but also going through the campus stuff, it's exposed me to other promotions that I've not seen before. Like, I really like what I see out of MLW. I really like going back and watching Ring of Honor stuff and whatnot. So it's just really cool getting to see all sorts of different promotions that you never really knew it before. And it just really opens that palette of things you might want to try yourself, or think about taking little things here and there and mixing up, making your own. I mean, that's really all. That's what it's all about.
Cool. I definitely hope you make it to AEW Dynamite. You know, when I first saw it, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. I like the way it's going. And you know, now there's another show that people can watch as well, which and granted, there's always been other promotions, but none to like the magnitude that this show has been. And what I like about them is is that, you know, they're helping build morale too. I mean, a lot of, you know, people that are in the business are getting shine, and I'm talking like on AEW Dark, where
Dark Elevation. I mean, they single-handedly, I mean, they really elevated the independent wrestling scene with that show alone all throughout the pandemic.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and they're giving people like exposure. So now you don't have to like, you know, wait to get signed at WWE in order to like, you know, get exposure. Now I mean, Impact is good, but at the same time, it's like they don't really have too many independent talents debuting to the multitude that AEW Dark does. So now that they have Dark, you know, a lot of people are getting shine and they're getting their name out there. And, you know, you got people like, you know, Sky Blue, who's actually, you know, been on there a number of times. Fuego del Sol, he just got signed, and that was off of, you know, AEW Dark and so on. So they're really doing great, and I'm very happy for them to actually now exist, and you know, it's been great so far.
It absolutely has, man. It's really awesome getting to see everyone coming out of the woodwork and seeing people that you've never seen before.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and another thing I was gonna mention there's actually, I don't know if you're into video games, but now there's a wrestling game called The Wrestling Code by the Virtual Basement. They're not paying me anything to say this, but their concept is it is the first ever independent wrestling game, not affiliated with AEW, WWE, or Impact, but they just have a bunch of like independent wrestlers. You have Alex Gracia, the Tate Twins, O'Shea Edwards, like a lot of the who's who independent wrestling that are free agents are on that game. And the great thing is they got a couple of people that are legends. You got like Kurt Angle, and you got a couple of other people that are, I forgot who else. We got a couple of legends that are not signed to a Legends deal with WWE or AEW or Impact. They're just out there, and they're putting them in that game as well too. So that's another great morale booster. Shout out to Virtual Basement if y'all ever see this. But
it's a cool looking. I just looked it up on Google, and it's a pretty cool looking package.
Yeah, and back like 5 years ago, you had to wait to be signed to WWE. It was either you were signed to WWE and you got a spot on their 2K game, or somebody made you in their creative wrestler community, or there's Fire Pro Wrestling where somebody made you. But outside of like those two, you weren't an official character. Now these independent
Fire Pro Wrestling, is that like the cartoonish looking one that just came out?
That's the Japanese game. They've been around for like years. It's for PS.
There's one that just came out. Where is it? I think there was one that just came out recently, and I could have sworn it was Fire Pro, but I guess not. But it was kind of like it looked similar to Fire Pro Wrestling.
Mm.
I want to say it was. I found it in Reddit. I wish I took a note of it because like it looked like a really fun game.
Yeah, but it's stuff like that that's like just building like the morale of wrestling, because now you don't have to wait to be WWE. Now you got this company that's making a game for independent wrestlers, and now you can, if you're that. So from what I'm seeing is that they're doing like the popular ones. So if you get popular enough, you're going to be an official character in that game. So I really like what they're doing, and I'll definitely want to actually purchase that game when it comes out. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Rob. I know Rob has some questions for you. So Rob, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
All right, sweet. Thanks, Remy. So what's going on, man? How's everything going today?
It's going pretty good, man. Again, thank you guys for having me.
Oh, man, no problem, man. Thank you for taking time out of your day and coming on chat with us, man. It's awesome, man. Thank you. So you were saying earlier, man, you were spending your day, out on the lake and stuff. Were you fishing? Were you out on the boat, man? What were you doing? Were you, water skiing, doing that stuff?
Just, getting on a little pontoon with some family friends and whatnot, taking the kids out, enjoying the last day of summer, if you will. It was it was the perfect temperature, perfect water temperature. Really couldn't have asked for a better day.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, my grandfather, he has a pontoon boat and stuff. We going out there sometimes. I'm always, they all like, everybody, everybody younger and stuff, man, they'll swim and stuff. I'm like, I'm trying to fish. I like going on the boat to fish. That's how, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm going to fish. Just leave me alone. I'm like Tom Sawyer. Like, I'll sit there on a creek and then tie like a string around my big toe, throw it in there, and just wait, you're doing my toe here, we're pull it in.
Nice.
Yeah, that lazy fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Remy was talking earlier about the Taker story, man. WWE came to my local high school. Man, I was in like 6th grade. Like, I don't know how old you are, 10, 11, 12, or whatever, 6th grade. But it was at the time Bret Hart was fighting Bob Backlund. They were having a feud for the belt. Mm-hmm. And one of the matches, one of the other card there was Undertaker versus Diesel. And Undertaker beat Diesel in a casket match. And after the, it was like intermission or whatever, all of us young kids, we were like, yeah, let's go out back. We're sort of trying to see if we can see the Undertaker and Diesel. We go out back and we're waiting and stuff. And Taker and Paul Bearer start coming out and stuff. And they're like yelling at each other, arguing and stuff. And they're sitting there arguing over who had the last of the vodka and stuff. You know what I mean? I guess they were drinking or something. And one of them drank it. Somebody drank the last of it. And it was like, it wasn't me. You know what I mean? You're the one that had it. I didn't have it last. So then we were like, okay. That's why Taker doesn't feel any pain. That's his secret. There we go. So we were like, all right. So I lived the rest of my life operating under that assumption.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I wish it had been a cooler one. Like, oh yeah, I met them at a bar and we were starting in the drinking contest and with drinking vodka and da.
It's kind of touching. It kind of reminds me. Speaking of that house show that I saw when I was like 16, it was pretty crazy. Like, getting to meet Road Warriors and Glacier and stuff like that, and then literally 16, 17 years later, Glacier is one of my wrestling coaches.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? How things work out like that and stuff. I remember going to an ECW show, and I remember watching New Jack fighting Mustafa Sayed. It was like 96, 97. I was 16, 17, whatever. And, yeah, they go up there, and then so many years later, he was on the podcast right after that Dark Side of the Ring New Jack thing, talking to us about that. I was like, oh my God, when I was a kid, I never thought, like, oh, that guy's I'm going to be able to interview him and chat with him one day. Man. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, if you ever check it out, man, he was like, man, if you ever see the Dark Side of the Ring stuff, I don't know if you ever called that.
Yeah, I usually, I actually enjoy watching that series. It's a pretty good show.
Well, he was telling us that in that show, when they were saying he was smoking pencil shavings, he told me, we were talking and stuff, and he said, nah, man, he was smoking a germ stick, where they take cigarettes, I guess, to dip it in formaldehyde. That's what he was smoking. He wasn't smoking pencil shavings. He wanted to set the record straight. So I was like, all right. All right, man, do your thing. So you're saying, man, you got. Oh no, go ahead.
No, it was brain fart.
Oh no, you're fine. So you were talking about watching when you were younger, growing up, watching WWE and Nitro and stuff, Raw and Nitro and stuff. Man, you're a Nitro guy. So did you ever, watch Raw and be like, I'm gonna watch Raw, see what happens, and then because they always showed Nitro on later on. Where I live, you watch, it come on at 8, and then we watch Nitro from 8 to 9. And then from 9 to 11, we watched Raw. But then we'd always change it to see Goldberg spear and jackhammer somebody, and then, change it back. And then after Raw went off, we watched the replay of Nitro. So
my stepbrother, it started, I started going back and forth when my stepbrother moved in with us. He was more of a WWE guy, and I was more of a WCW guy, so we'd go back and forth and whatnot. But his older brother, he was just a wrestling fan and had like the collection of all sorts of old pay-per-views and whatnot. Like one of the, I can't remember which pay-per-view it was, but it was Sting versus Black Scorpion, which ended up being Ric Flair.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the pay-per-view either. I'm thinking Starrcade or something.
That's what's coming to my mind too.
Yeah, that's what's coming to mind. Starrcade.
But I just remember seeing that as a kid. I'm just like, what? No way. It's kind of like
I always liked Sting.
The same thing when I was a kid, like discovering that Mick Foley was, Mankind, Cactus Jack, and Dude Love. I was like, well, no. What's going on? Gosh, there was something else I was going to say. But yeah, so you're talking about the going back and forth. What got me sticking whenever I got to start getting over into WWE was when Undertaker had the Ministry of Darkness. It's like when all the factions started popping up in WWE. DX would rolled up to WCW with the tank and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, it's getting real. That's like when the real switching back and forth, where I started getting invested in switching back and forth for me. It's like, all right, they're about to fight.
That's right. Yeah, I was switching back and forth because I didn't want to miss out on the conversations on the bus to school the next day. We would dissect the shows and stuff on the way to school and then on the way back to school. Had I don't know how long it took, like half hour, 45 minutes. Drop everyone off. So We need something to talk about. So we talk about Raw Nitro.
Then you think about it, I mean, that was kind of the beginnings of a lot of wrestling podcasts. For me, it was like I was like fifth grade at the time. So it's kind of crazy, like seeing people come up and, my age, making podcasts now and talking about those events. It's really cool.
Oh yeah. I love talking about that and reliving those days. Yeah, because they're pretty cool. Yeah, talking about old Sting. Sting was always my boy. I even like Surfer Sting, man. He was cool, man. I like Surfer Sting.
It was pretty cool getting to see all the different stuff he would do with Surfer Sting.
Oh yeah. I like how like every couple of years that people talk about Jericho reinventing your character. I like how Sting would do that. He was Surfer for a while. Then we did that Crow when and then what was it in TNA when he did Joker's Sting. Oh man, he was crazy when he did that one. I was like, okay, here goes Sting.
That was pretty cool seeing what he got to do with his character throughout the years.
Oh yeah. So you were talking earlier, man, like one of your inspirations for Test. And I was going to ask you about some of your moves, man. You were like, and when you said Test, I had it written down here, man, about your big boot. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, when you mentioned Test, I was like, yup, that's where your big boot comes from. That's what it looks like, you know what I mean? Because I was watching some of your matches and all, bam, you come up there with that big boot. I was like, yo, that thing is nasty. And then, you said Test point. I'm like, oh, yup, looks just like Test, yes. And then you got this one, the DDT. Oh, go ahead.
That's where I got where I picked up the full Nelson Slam from too. God, that's just such a mean move.
My back's hurting just thinking about doing that. Oh man, I hope my trainer's not watching this. Be like, come Tuesday or whatever. Be like, all right, yeah, we're gonna do that. Like, oh man, come on, man. But you also got a DDT, man. Like, that thing is awesome, man. Do you have a name for it or whatever? Because like you come across. You go like this, then you like hook the leg, and it's like, wow.
So I picked that up because I originally was wanting to do the flatliner as my finisher. And I was looking at a flatliner compilation video, and Stardust Dark Matter came across. I'm like, yo, how did I forget about that? And that's where it came from. It's, my coach's old finisher. And so basically it's like a flatliner DDT combo, but what I changed the name to it, calling it the Ghost Light.
Ooh, nice. We'll write that down.
And so the inspiration for that name came from working as a theatrical stagehand. And we, at the end of after we get done taking out all the equipment out of the rails, out of the sky, and put it on truck, we always put a light out on stage so that way it's not completely dark, so that way you don't fall off the edge of the stage.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So doing that, was that when you were doing playing in a band and stuff and all that? If you were, like, what instrument were you playing?
It's kind of all encompassing. I was professionally a bass player for a number of years, and then when I came off the road, I decided to work behind the scenes for a little bit. Working various rock and roll shows, Broadway shows, and eventually getting into movies. And then pandemic hit. It's like, it's wrestling time.
That's pretty cool. So did you get to play with anybody cool? You know what I mean? Playing bass. Did you get to play bass for anybody cool, man? Because I had a buddy. He got to play. He was like a roadie for Johnny Cash for once, and he got to play in a band with. If you ever seen The King of Queens, it was Doug Heffernan's wife's boss, Prezan or whatever. He got to play. He played in the band with him. So, oh, that's pretty cool.
I have some really cool musical experiences. Just random stuff. If it wasn't playing, most of my stuff was just more interactions at shows and whatnot.
Okay.
My particular favorite memory was I was playing with a band out of Phoenix called the Samus Theory at the time, and we had won a contest to open up the Uproar Festival at the time in Phoenix. And afterwards, I got to hang out with the guys in Seven Dust and a number of other bands. It was just really cool getting to talk to way more established bands and getting advice from them on music and whatnot. I'd say my favorite musical experience, though, was getting backstage passes at a Black Sabbath event. They were called Heaven and Hell because they had Ronnie James Dio on vocals, and at the time it's because
Ronnie
of
James Dio. Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
It was
My
because
bad.
of,
Hold on.
no,
Yeah, you said
no,
Dio.
dude.
Yeah, okay. You're good. Go ahead.
If you're a Dio fan and someone says Ronnie James Dio, you're just like, oh.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, Dio's awesome.
And I'm willing to die on this hill. Ronnie James Dio fronting Black Sabbath is the best lineup of Black Sabbath, and I will die on that hill.
I mean, I'm inclined to agree with you there. I mean, I love Ozzy and stuff, but yeah, I like Dio, man. Like, he's awesome, man. Oh, he was awesome.
When he became the vocalist for that band, it's just a whole new level.
Mm-hmm.
Like they pretty much just became a different band, because sonically they sounded so much different than when Ozzy was in the band. Like I had a buddy of mine got me backstage pass for that show. I've got my Heaven and Hell vinyl signed by all 4 members. I got my Live at Radio City Music Hall booklet signed by all 4 members. I got a guitar pick from Tony Iommi. I got a set list, day sheet. I want to say I got something else with it. I've got it in a shadow box and storage, and that was like my greatest musical memory because it was just, again, my all-time favorite band. I mean, I've got tattoos of them on my wrist, so.
Nice. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that is awesome. Now, I was going to get to the tattoos in a second, man, but I'm going to talk, man, when you were going to concerts, man, were you in the mosh pit? And if you did go in the mosh pit, did everybody just like, okay, now we're good, you know what I mean? Yeah, because we ain't going to mess with this dude, you know what I mean? Like, F this, you know what I mean? I'm going to live to go to another concert another day.
I got in the mosh pits and stuff when I was much younger, but to be honest, like the older I got, the more into playing playing professionally and stuff, the more I was really just watching the band from a safe distance, not trying to get in the pit because I really just wanted to see how they played songs. Because, I mean, some of the songs they play, I would just play at home, and I'm like, okay, how does he do this technique? And I'm just like completely focused. One of my exes, she made a comment. It's like, man, it's like you really are just like in it. You're lost. You're watching techniques and stuff. It's like, yeah. I mean, you see what I try to do at home. This is what I'm studying. My favorite place to be at a concert is at the sound booth because that's where it's going to sound the best. You get the wide range of the band with the fans. There is something to be said about being front row, being able to get a slap on the hand with the whoever's on stage and whatnot. But to be honest, like just sitting back, enjoying the sound and the view, it's really where it's at for me these days. Probably say my favorite sounding show was Tool at Gwinnett Arena. My buddy Andrew and I, we got tickets, and Live Nation for some reason didn't group our tickets together. Like he had him over there, had me over there, had a couple other guys spread out. We're like, what the heck? So they got us the last 4 seats that were together, and it was on the floor in front of the sound booth. I'm like, I'm good. This is the best time ever.
That's right. Oh man, that's awesome, man. I'd love to see Tool in concert, man. That'd be pretty cool. I was listening to Green Jelly. Cause I mean, he was singing the little pig, and all on there. I guess. Yeah. That was on my playlist today in the car.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance to see Tool or Perfect Circle, I mean, you can't go wrong either way.
Yeah, I seen Disturbed in concert, and they're pretty cool, man. They had some dude coming out there doing stunts, man, with like those crazy things where he take a drill and like do it up his nose and stuff like that and all, like in between the bands. I was like, oh man.
What was it? They used to have their Music as a Weapon tour, and I got to see one of the Music as a Weapon tours at Gwinnett Arena as well. Killswitch Engage was on, Lacuna Coil was on, I believe Chimera was on as well. I could be wrong, but I remember that was actually one of the few times I crowd surfed at that show. Was during Killswitch. You said I'd go all the way back from the sound booth all the way to the front, and it was just
nice,
crazy awesome.
Oh man, that must have been awesome, man. Crowd surfing all. Oh, especially that long away, man. That's pretty cool, man.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to maintain the speed. I mean, you had a few dips and whatnot, but pretty much it was the same level of height the whole time.
Yeah, man, that's pretty awesome, man. Yeah. Yeah, man, because when I went to the Disturbed concert, I remember, in the parking lot, these dudes had these balloons and stuff. I thought it was helium in there, you know what I mean? It wasn't
Mm.
helium. They're using the tank, putting helium in there. Yeah, trust me, it wasn't helium, man. So, yeah, man, that Disturbed concert was awesome. That was,
Yeah.
like, great.
Mhm.
Oh, man, I'm just teasing. No, I did not do that, you know what I mean? It's just a joke.
Hey, we're all adults. We've all done some crazy fun
Oh,
things and
yeah, man.
crazy stupid things.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've done the things where the little piece of paper where you can sit there. It's like, oh, what's this little green man doing? I'm like, oh man, what are you doing?
I mean, how many of us have ever done a wrestling party on a trampoline?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That used to be a yearly tradition when I was in middle school. My buddy Zach Green would have a wrestling birthday party, and we'd set up ladders and stuff on the edge of the trampoline.
Oh, that is great. Yeah, I remember a friend of mine had a trampoline. We would do that too, wrestling stuff. Man, we go all high, like power bomb. Yes. Oh man, that's awesome.
Man, my
I don't think we
cousin,
ever did the ladders though.
I think one of us did a pile driver or DDT or something, and after we did it to him, like he just laid there and was like, Mom? And he like literally he laid there for 10 minutes. Just like not moving, just breathing. It's like, what do we do? What do we do? And then so one of our other friends goes to check up on him, then he springs up and spears him.
Oh, nice. Oh, that was a good sell. That was a good sell. Good job. Yeah, everybody fooled. That's right. Oh man, that's awesome.
I've never been so freaked out about somebody just laying
Yeah.
still in my entire life.
Oh man, yeah, that's. Oh man, I probably would have too. Like, hold on. This is crazy. We ain't signed up for this. Oh man.
So
But you're talking about. Oh no, go ahead.
I know Remy said he was based out of New York. Where are you based out of again?
Oh, I'm in Delaware.
Okay.
Yeah, we're that small state. I mean, right there below. Right by Jersey. Same between Jersey and Maryland. Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
My bad. My bad.
I've been up to. I used to work in Dover on the Firefly Festival.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Firefly. I've never been there because man, I can't do all day, man. In that heat and stuff. I'm like, man, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm 39 years old. You know what I mean? That was in my younger days. You know what I mean? I could do that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. But yeah, man, that Firefly Festival, man, it was always yeah, it's always pretty good, man. What was it like up there, man? What'd you do up there? Were you
I was
doing advertising or something? Or?
no, I did a machine operation, like heavy machine operation
Oh, okay.
for the festival, as well as some just stagehand work.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah,
what
that's
was the
pretty cool.
last one I did? I want to say it was maybe 2015, 2016. 2015 is the last one that I did.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, I haven't been. Yeah, like I said, yeah, those things like 3 days, all day things. Like, whoo, oh, yeah, I'm good.
That show was really fun to me because it really had its thumb on the pulse of what alternative music is at the time.
Hmm. Yeah.
And you had some rock bands, and some out of the other acts out of the alternative genre there, but for the most part, it was like an alternative music festival, and it was pretty cool getting to discover new up and coming bands or bands you haven't heard of that are getting heavy radio play.
Hmm. Yeah, cause I always check out the lineup and stuff, and I'll be like, oh, I've never heard of them. Let me, let me look them up on Spotify or YouTube or something. Let me check out some of their songs, what they got and all that good stuff, man. So yeah, they do open me up to newer stuff, what I mean.
Right. If you guys aren't doing anything this weekend, I've actually got a string of shows up in Troy, Michigan at Troy Family Days. I've got a show Friday night, one Saturday day, one Saturday night, and then one Sunday day. And that's going to be again at Troy Family Days. The Address is 3425 Civic Center Drive, Troy, Michigan 48083.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, definitely go up there. If you're around Michigan or whatever, definitely go in there and check it out. You know what I mean? That's awesome, man.
Brother by the name of Luke Crank and his wrestling organization, Missile Dropkick Wrestling Alliance, is the one that's hosting that.
I heard of him, Luke Frank. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So that's your next show you're going to?
Yep, that's this upcoming weekend.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that was one of my questions. I was going to ask when your next show was, next thing coming up. All right, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, this weekend, man. All right, that's what's up. Now,
yeah, I'm pretty excited for it.
Oh, that's cool. Do you know who you're going up against yet?
Right now I know the card's getting shuffled around, but once I get official card information, I'll be sure to send it to you guys.
All right, sweet. That's what's up. Now you're talking about your tattoos and stuff, man. I seen them and stuff, man. I had to ask, man, how many sessions did you go to, and how long were the sessions? You know what I mean? 'Cause I got two myself, but they were I don't have any sleeves or anything. They're just flat, you know.
I mean, altogether, let's see here, 6. I mean, it's easily right now pushing 50 hours of work.
Woo! Nice. What was your
longest?
I was going to say, what was your longest piece? That took the longest.
I'm going to say the roughest piece. The most intense piece I dealt with was the space piece.
Ooh, funny bone. Woo.
And we did it over the course. We did it in 6 hours, but we did it over the course of 3 days. 2 hours here, 2 hours the next day, 2 hours the next day, because it's just being fit in wherever I can. It was a friend of mine was doing it for free. Mm-hmm. So she's like, hey, I can do this here. You can do it here. And it's like, however we got to do it, let's just do it. And so it was very raw.
Oh, man. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. Yeah, I've heard that's pretty rough. And right on your shin. I heard that's pretty rough too. Get tattoo on like the front of your leg, hitting your shin and stuff.
Won't do it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking about getting like maybe a couple more. I might get them on my forearms or something. You know, maybe get a half a sleeve or something. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about it. You know, maybe get a pandemic tattoo or something. I turn 40, get a 40-40 tattoo or something.
Well, if you're up for traveling, I'll send you a couple of names.
All right. Hey, I'm always trying to travel, man. You know what I mean? Hopefully, when I'm, done training in school, man, doing the rep thing, I'll be traveling around, man, making them counts.
No, you can go see my girl Liz Gruesome down in Fayetteville, North Carolina. You can go see my girl Jay Jones out in Joshua Tree, California, or you can go see my dude Loki down in Atlanta at Silver Fox Tattoo.
Oh, nice. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
They all do great work.
Oh man, yeah, definitely have to check them out, man. So, man, your shirt, man, all your merch, man, it looks badass and stuff, man. You got pins I think it was pins I seen or whatever, man. And then
your shirts, man. I've got stickers, I've got pins, I've got 8x10s, and I also do one-on-one DDP yoga sessions.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who did you create your that design right there on your shirt and stuff, man? Because whoever did that did a good job. You know what I mean? I like that design right there.
The design was inspired by a picture of Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Ooh, okay.
And so with one of my previous photo shoot, the one before the pictures I sent you all earlier, I took some pictures doing the pose of what I'm doing on the shirt just to get a general idea of what it's going to look like and stuff. And very talented individual by the name of Mark DeGucci. I think it's Mark DeGucci. It may be Mark DeGrucci. I would want to make sure I get it right. Yeah, Mark DeGruchy, Gruchy. He does a lot of work a lot of graphic design work for a lot of wrestlers, and he and his graphic design partner just got a few AEW stars for merchandise as well. And I think Mark also does the artwork for the Slam Buddy dolls that wrestlers sell.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. So, do you have a Slam Buddy out yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, hopefully you get one. Hopefully. My trainer actually has one or whatever, man. He was selling them at the shows or whatever, man. I was like, oh, look at this.
I only know a handful of them. A handful of folks that have them. Man, I'm sure there's more that do, but like off the bat, Marcus Erics, Brooke Havoc, I believe Brax has one, and I know I'm spacing on a few others. But again, the artwork that I've seen, especially when it gets printed out on the fabric and full product, it's amazing work.
Oh yeah. I wish I had that creative gene, man. I can't do any of that stuff. Like the best I can do is draw stick figures. That's all I can do. Now you're talking about that being inspired by Pinhead, man. Are you a horror movie fan?
Absolutely.
All right. Who's your slasher guy, man? Whatever, man. Are you like Jason, Freddy, Michael, Chucky, Leatherface, Pinhead?
I mean, if you're going slasher and gore, I mean, you can't do better than Pinhead.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
You know, you see, what was it, Jason, Freddy, and a number of other characters getting put in Mortal Kombat. It's like, how are you sleeping on Pinhead? Pinhead would be perfect for Mortal Kombat.
Yes. Yeah, he could get his what were they, the Demonites or whatever that he had around the time and everyone. Mm-hmm. Yes, those. Oh man, yeah, you can call them up for a finisher and stuff. Oh yes.
I mean, even
I like Jason.
Jason's a good one. I really enjoy. I mean, a lot of people pan it, but I really enjoyed Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it too, man. If it's on and stuff, I'll watch it. You know, no big deal to me. I know people didn't really like that 2009 Friday the 13th, but I loved it. I remember seeing it in the theaters, and I thought the first 20 minutes.
Is it Jason X or
no? The one with Sam Winchester.
Oh, the most recent
from
remake.
Supernatural. It was in 2009.
I think that's the one.
Because the first 20 minutes of that, it was like the perfect Friday the 13th movie. It was like, had me on the edge of my seat. I was like, are you serious? He just went and just destroyed everyone. Oh man.
Yeah, that's the one where they kind of took Friday the 13th 1 and 2 and made it into a single movie, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and they showed him going around. He was like in tunnels or whatever between the cabins and stuff, stuff like that.
Kind of exposing the methods.
Yeah.
What was it? Halloween H2O. It was a similar plot.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how he got around the house so quick. Is like there was like underground tunnels and pathways to the walls and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, or was that the one with Busta Rhymes? The one where
I think it's the one with Busta Rhymes.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that one. That one. Yeah. Yeah, because like the Jason one, I play that video game on Xbox and stuff, man. Yeah, they don't do no tunnels on there, man. You got your Jason powers, man. You can teleport. You go do that. I'm like, man, that's Jason. But yeah,
I'm really enjoying the new. I'm really really excited about the new Halloween Kills movie coming out. The one that came out previously is an amazing return to form for the Halloween series.
Oh yes, I liked it. Man. Yeah, because I think it doesn't pick up right where that one left off. You know what I mean? Michael Myers sitting in that. Spoiler alert, I guess, or whatever. You know what I mean? He was in that basement on fire. Jamie Lee Curtis then was out.
Oh yeah, because Halloween Kills picks up right after that. But I just really like how they played on. They kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Retcon the other movies. So like the latest Halloween that came out, it takes place. It replaces Halloween 2, essentially.
Yeah.
Or there's another timeline.
Yeah, you can always do that because they had that one in there with what was it like 4, 5, and 6 or whatever, where they had the Thorn tattoo, the Thorn trilogies or
Yeah,
whatever. That one, yeah, that one. I think Paul Rudd was in one of them or whatever.
I think you're right.
Yeah, that Thorn trilogy. Oh man, yeah. Now I've been seeing there's these shows, man. When I was a kid, it was It was Friday the 13th TV series, and they had one Nightmare on Elm Street TV series where like Freddy
Mm.
hosted it, and it was like a Twilight Zone or whatever. But it was two stories, and they kind of intertwined or whatever. And Freddy was hosting it, and sometimes he'd go in there, kill somebody, do whatever. You know what I mean? It was only out for like 2 years. It
Right.
was pretty cool. I guess they were like, man, we can't have kids watching this or something. So, speaking of that, man, what are some new TV shows and stuff you're watching right now?
I'm watching the new Heels series on Stars right now.
Ooh, okay.
I actually had the pleasure of working on that this past February and March.
Oh, okay. What were you doing on that? Did you do any stunt work? Were you an extra? Can we see you in the wrestling ring or something in there?
Not on season 1, but we'll see what happens in season 2. But I worked on that show as a rigging grip behind the scenes, so just went in, built the stuff before shooting crew was there and whatnot.
Your boy Ace is a jerk, man. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, man.
No, I mean, I'm not.
I heard it's real good. Yeah,
But
I enjoyed. I mean, it's pretty cool getting to see the stuff you build come to life. So
that is true, man.
And like in the dome gym, it's if you look closely on the wall, there's like a series of photos from local Atlanta wrestlers. So I think it's pretty cool how they make use of the local talent. I wish they put local talent on the screen, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah. See, it's one of my things to check out. See, I don't have Stars, but I heard it's on Amazon Prime or whatever. So I'm gonna have to check it out. I think.
But it's on Amazon Prime, but you have to have the Stars extension.
Okay. I'm gonna have to, man. I have to ask my sister or something. Somebody might have it, man. Hopefully, man. I'm gonna definitely watch it. You know what I mean? Where there's a will, there's a way.
I'm also really digging the Marvel What If series.
Ooh, okay. I have not seen that yet. But yeah. I've heard news are pretty good too.
Yeah, it's
oh no, go
my
ahead.
favorite episode right now is episode 4, and it's Doctor Strange.
Okay. Now I am excited about the Spider-Man coming out. You know what I mean? It's at the end of Loki. You know what I mean? Like they got Doctor Strange coming out. I think is it November or December? New Spider-Man's coming out. I still need to see Shang-Chi. I still need to see Shang-Chi though. I need to go to theaters. I need to go this week or something and check it out.
I saw Shang-Chi recently at a drive-in.
Drive-in. Man, I miss those things.
Thankfully, I have the pleasure of choosing from 2. There's one in Atlanta, and there's one in Blue Ridge.
So how was it? How was Shang-Chi, man? Was it pretty good?
I enjoyed it. It was, you had elements of action, you had elements of science fiction and fantasy. I mean, again, martial arts, dragons, science fiction. I mean, it's just all sorts. I mean, it's really cool getting to see those elements mixed together and make a really good movie.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's on my why. I'm gonna have to go out this week and see it because I don't want to the Marvel movies. I really don't want to miss out. You know what I mean? I'll fall behind. Like, oh man, I missed something. You know what I mean? So definitely got to do that. Now I have been watching the Doom Patrol on HBO Max. I've been watching Doom Patrol, and I just finished that. Now I got to watch the new season of Titans. I don't know if you've seen those yet.
Say worked on a little bit of Doom Patrol back in 2019. I think it was for season 2. Maybe season 2 or season 3. I can't remember. Wait, they just came out with season 3. So yeah, season 2.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. I'm glad I got to see, you get to see Brandon Fraser back, man. From the Mummy and all that stuff, man. I'm glad to see him back. I ain't seen him in like years and stuff, so I'm like happy to see him back doing his thing, man.
I like seeing the weird out there properties coming to life.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah,
but I mean I'm really glad to see that both companies, Marvel and DC, starting to do that with the more out there properties and bringing them to life. I mean, with Loki, you got to bring other aspects like, what was it, Gator Loki and Frog Thor.
Yeah, that was great.
I really wish they did more emphasis on Frog Thor instead of just using it as an Easter egg. But it was pretty cool that they still did it anyway. But it's pretty interesting seeing how they're doing the Titans storyline. Pretty much everything is, when it comes to the two companies, everything's a multiverse.
Mm-hmm. Now I do like the on HBO Max they have all the DC animated movies, and those I love watching those, man. I'll sit there and just like, I'm gonna watch this, and I'm just I'm enjoying it. Yeah, those things are awesome.
Batman the Animated Series is my favorite superhero cartoon.
Oh yes, I love that. Yes,
it's kind of. I mean, it's kind of dark for a kid show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of that stuff, man. When you watch Batman as an adult, you're like, oh man.
It's like, what was mom and dad thinking?
That's right. My mom and dad, they were young when they had me and stuff, man. So my dad, he would let me watch like Eddie Murphy Raw. So I was going to the school the next day telling Eddie Murphy jokes on the playground. So he's telling me crazy jokes. I got in trouble in school one time. He was like talking about the Buccaneers. He was like, "Where are your Buccaneers?" And I'm like, "Oh no." He's like, "Under your bucket hat." I thought that was funny, so I went to school and told my teacher. She was like, "What? What? No." I'm like, I didn't say nothing. Come on. I was like, "Dad."
Lord.
I mean, he was just like, "Yeah." Oh man. So I do gotta ask, man. What was like, for training at the factory, man? What was like the best advice that you received or whatever from your trainers that you still use to this day?
Coach Ray said, day one, it's not who you know, it's who's willing to say they know you.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. There you go.
I mean, you think about it, it's just like everything you do, it puts an imprint.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want a good imprint or do you want a bad imprint?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's some good advice right there. Yeah, I try to make a good imprint. You know what I mean? That's why I don't want to make a bad imprint. You know what I mean? I'll try to leave here with something good.
I mean, as long as when it comes down to it, whether it's personal relationships, business, you gotta have the willingness to communicate, and that's all that matters. As long as you're willing to communicate and be clear with your communication, that's all that really matters.
That's right. So I do gotta ask, man, before I pass it on back to Remy. For wrestling for as long as you have or whatever, man. Do you have any funny road stories or something happened backstage that was funny? Maybe somebody forgot their gear or whatever. Something funny happened. I mean, you can change the name to protect the innocent if you need to.
To be honest, I haven't encountered anything too crazy yet. You know what I mean? I've only been wrestling since December.
Yeah.
For me, it's just been a very great experience. I've got nothing really bad to say. I don't know. Really, it's just like hanging out. Just hanging out, sharing stories, helping each other work on their craft. I mean, it's a real familyhood.
Oh yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, hopefully, man. Yeah, maybe after you wrestle a little longer, you might have some funny stories. Like, man, I was traveling with somebody and they're lactose intolerant and they start drinking milk. You know what I mean? And we're far from a bathroom. Something like that, man. It's like, what were you doing?
Right.
There you go. Oh man. All right, but I do want to say, man, thank you for, taking time out of your busy schedule, coming on, chatting with us, man. I definitely had a blast chatting with you, about Marvel, about, your badass merch that you have, all that stuff, man. You know what I mean? And I wish you nothing but the positive things to have you in your career, and I hope, you start traveling all over, collecting gold everywhere you go, man.
Well, if you're ever interested in getting a shirt, I do Cash App and Venmo.
Word up.
So that's either @ or money sign Revenant Andrews, same as my Instagram tag.
Brian, thank you very much. We really and truly appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to be on the show. We know that right now you're busy planning your next, step in your pro wrestling career and whatnot. We really and truly appreciate you, giving us this opportunity. Before we let you go, where can fans find you on social media if they want to, find out where your next experiences, purchase the Revenant Brian Andrew and Brian Andrews merchandise? And where can bookers
So
and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
Facebook.com/Revenant Andrews, Instagram and Twitter @ Revenant Andrews. Merchandise, they can, I've got posts on all social medias. I'm actually working on a website right now. You can get my merch again through at the merch table or through Cash App, Venmo. Let me know what your size is. Send me an email at revenantwrestling@gmail.com with your address, t-shirt size. And speaking of merch for sale, I do want to give a shout out for Soft and Rugged Athletic Wear. They believe me, worthy enough to be a sponsor for my wrestling journey. And so if you use the code REV15, you get 15% off store-wide. Their website is soft-rugged.com. So if you're looking for really good workout gear, athletic wear, go buy from them. I cannot say enough good things about them. Just a little factoid, we're all coming out of the pandemic. We're all coming out of this 2020 shutdown. Their products are American made, and the manufacturer of these products did not lay off a single worker during the shutdown. To me, for me, that's a huge thing. So again, Soft and Rugged, soft-rugged.com. Use code REV15. You get 15% off your order store-wide.
Nice. Awesome. I think they actually followed us on Instagram. Shout out to them. Hey, real talk. We actually have a 15 minutes of fandom segment where we actually interview wrestling fans. So if anybody in their camp is a wrestling fan, and by all means, they're more than welcome to be a guest on our show. We'll definitely make it happen. But y'all definitely heard of the man says Soft and Rugged. Check them out. They did a great thing. They didn't lay off a single worker. During this pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs and whatnot. So, why not show some gratitude to the company that actually, is making American-made stuff. They're not outsourced to other countries, and they didn't lay off a single worker. Now, that is somebody that I could personally get behind. So, y'all definitely go ahead and support somebody that's doing it here and doing it the right way on home base. So definitely do that. Follow this man, cop his merchandise. If you're in Georgia, show your local boy some love, born and raised, what I'm saying, go cop some, go cop a Revenant Brian Andrews shirt. If you can't make the show, this is another way you support indie wrestling is, supporting your local wrestler by copping their merch and all that stuff. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Before we shut down the show, Rob Bass, where can fans find you on social media if they want to, talk wrestling? And where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
You can find me at Rob_Base82, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, and then Facebook and YouTube, Rob Base.
Awesome. If you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything cool to say, but who knows, maybe you'll get lucky. You can find me on Twitter under @TheRemyBlue, and you can also find me on Facebook under Remy Blue. It's a picture of me at WrestleMania 28. Our podcast, however, is also on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society. We also have a Facebook group, which is where this episode, one of the platforms this episode is being streamed on. If you type in Ringside Society, you'll definitely find our Facebook group. We're also on Twitch under Ringside Society 2019, which is our second platform that this episode is being streamed under. And we're also on YouTube. Yes, we have a YouTube channel. Type in Ringside Society. Once you see that sweet blue and dark blue and light blue yin and yang logo over there with the blue flames around it, that's definitely us. So go ahead and subscribe, and do not personalize it. Just put it to subscribe for all. Put the little alert on, because we got a lot of great episodes and interviews and clips from wrestling shows that we've been to ourselves coming up real soon. As a matter of fact, we have a lot of cool shows. We have a lot of cool episodes from the past, like Dom Damien, who we just interviewed. We had a Ringside Rain, who actually got to announce a match for SummerSlam last month, and people like Princess Victoria, one former WWF Women's Tag Team Champion, yes, was a former champion in WWE, and also many other people as well. So definitely follow us. We're doing a lot of great things, a lot of interesting things. So we definitely appreciate that. But and we also have a Teespring store. Yes, we also have. That's where we sell our Ringside Society merch. Go ahead and check out our store. Get a shirt. Winter's coming. Get a long sleeve shirt. Get a hoodie. Get a coffee mug. All proceeds from those sales go back into keeping this show afloat. It does not go back into our pockets. You have our word on that. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight live. We know it's a bit late, but that's how determined we are. So thank you very much for staying up late with us. To those of you that are going to listen to us later on, thank you very much in advance. And to those of you that hate us, can't stand us, and really and truly wish we could just stop what we're doing and go away, well, I'm sorry, but like myself in the Golden Corral and Rob Bates at Hershey Park in Pennsylvania, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. So with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we're very well aware that here at Ringside Society, we definitely know that everybody in the grandparents and the parents of a podcast. We're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. We're definitely not just any podcast. Hey, yo, Rob Bates, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the Nightmare Factory Class 1 graduate, the Revenant Brian Andrews. What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. And we'll be back at it actually later on tonight, because it's already Monday here, with another great episode. We're actually going to Canada to actually interview a fan by the name of Adam, the Axeman. I might definitely make sure I stay far away and have some metal on. I don't want an axe hitting me, but we'll definitely be interviewing him tonight for 15 minutes of fandom. But until then, we're still going through a pandemic. So until this is over completely, stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dude. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.